My name is Anna Oposa. I come from the Philippines and I'm doing work in marine conservation, specifically shark conservation. My dad is an environmental lawyer, so I was exposed to the environment at such a young age, and I think when you're exposed to the environment of the Philippines at a young age, you fall in love with it, and that's, I think when you fall in love with something, then you're inspired to protect it. Sharks are endangered, and I think that people don't realize how important sharks are to humanity. And thanks or no thanks to media, it's gained a very negative reputation because of movies like Jaws. And it's a misconception that sharks attack people. In fact, there are only 10 fatal shark attacks a year, average. But on the other hand, we human beings kill 70 to 100 million sharks a year. And since sharks are at the top of the marine ecosystem, they maintain the balance of the ecosystem, which includes humans, and we take in about more than half of the oxygen that comes from the sea, and there has to be a connection between sharks and humans. I think my inspiration comes from both good and bad sides of nature conservation. What I mean is like the little successes that people have. They push me, they inspire me, they show me that things can be done. And just looking at the Philippine seas whenever I dive, it's just inspiring to see such life underwater that people don't see normally. And it fascinates me that the Philippines is an archipelago of 7,000 islands, and yet 80 to 90% of Filipinos don't know how to swim. And then you have the bad side, and when I mean bad side, it's hearing all these news about, sharks getting finned and dolphins getting slaughtered, even if there are certain species already protected by the law. And I think it's important to have both the good and the bad side of it to help you push things. And Saint Augustine said that hope is about anger and courage. Anger that the way things are, and courage to make them the way they ought to be. I think my goal sounds very simple, but it's not as easy as it sounds. I think what I really want to do is to create a generation of Filipinos who care about the country. And in the movie The Lorax, which just came out, the quote there is, "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better." It's not. And whenever people ask me what the worst environmental issue is, I say it's not pollution, it's not global warming, but it's apathy. And I think that when people don't care about the things that are around them, that's when all the problems begin. So that's really my goal, to make people care about what's going on. Wow, I'm not the kind of conservationist who aspires for a certain position or who aspires for a certain organization to be part of. I think my professional dream is really grounded in the Philippines and how much work I can do to create a positive impact in my own community. The application was sort of on a whim. One of my close friends in the environmental movement forwarded it to me and said, "Why don't we join so we can save your sharks?" And I was like, let's go. Because I had nothing to lose and everything to gain, but never in my imagination did I think I would be part of this. So it was just really shooting for the moon. I think for me what this means is that sharks are getting the attention that they should be getting, and I think there's a global awareness of what's happening to our shark population. And also, it's also for my country. We are the center of marine biodiversity in the world, but we're also the center of adversity. And any illegal activity, it's either we started it or you can find it in my country. So hopefully with an award like this, we can improve and bring it back to the center of biodiversity. I think the Future for Nature Award will encourage a top-down and bottom-up approach to nature conservation. And what I mean by that is going with a high-level, legislation, the Senate, the Congress, and the government, down to the community. Help connecting the dots among the school, the dive operators, the tourists, the teachers, the students, the residents of that area. And I think that when there's a top-down, bottom-up approach, then there's a faster route to social change. With the money that we'll be getting, we'll be building a Thresher shark shelter in the Visayan Seas, and all the activities are under two pillars: enforcement and education. So under enforcement, we'll be demarcating the area, because how can you save something if you don't know where it is? And then we'll be reviewing the existing legislations, and then writing new ones if necessary. Holding a regular stakeholders dialogue. And then under education, it's teaching in the high school, improving their curriculum in the marine education component, creating a volunteer teaching program that's owned by the community, and then celebrating the Thresher Shark Festival that comes annually in that community. I see, sometimes I shuffle between being idealistic and being delusional, and I think that's good. I see a very bright future. I think we are now in this incredible window of opportunity, because we've seen how humans have destroyed the environment, but I also believe that if humans are the problem, then we're the solution. And now with social media and technology changing the landscape of advocacy and of the world and of politics, and I think that it's a remarkable change, and I really believe that things are going to be improving from here on.